Conversations with Ron Richardson, live on WBOK and online at WBOK1230.com.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Conversations with Ron Richardson on WBOK 1230 AM, streaming worldwide on WBOK1230.com and also on YouTube. Remember, guys, if you want to find out more information about yours truly, Ron Richardson, you can find me on social networking, social media. You can find me on Facebook at Ron Rich or Ronald Richardson Jr. You can also find me on Instagram at Ronald_Richardson_Jr. on Instagram, on TikTok, and on Substack, and also on LinkedIn. All my social media handles are the same person and the same name. Nonetheless, we're back for a great episode of Conversations with Ron Richardson this week, and I would like to welcome a regular here on Conversations with Ron Richardson, my co-host who has turned into a guest today, Miss Angie from the Sincerely Angie podcast. How are you?
I'm fine. Hey, y'all.
Welcome to the show, as always.
Thank you.
All right.
This feels different.
Yeah, because you're always co-hosting, and
Yes.
but now the spotlight is on you.
It is.
All
I'm
right.
nervous.
Yeah, because you've been co-hosting with me for some time on my numerous platforms that
Yes.
I've been on, but you and I have never really had to sit down and have the one-on-one conversation to talk about your journey with mental health and the different things that you've been through. So welcome to the show, and I want you to give my listening audience a brief introduction on who you are and why we're here today.
Okay. So, my name is Angie, and I do have a podcast, the Sincerely Angie M podcast, and you can find that on podcasting platforms. And I have been podcasting now for about 8 years or so, and I'm old school podcast, so it's audio only. I don't do a whole lot of video podcasts. That's a newer way of doing things, but I'm the editor, producer,
Right.
I'm the host, I'm everything. So it's a
Right.
whole lot to try and do the video as well. But
Right.
I started podcasting in 2018, I believe. So yeah, like 8 years. And I talk about everything, lifestyle, a lot of finance talk. I love talking finances and money
Mhm.
just because it's life.
Right.
But I also have a blog, sincerelyangiem.com, and I do a lot of writing there. So you can find writing, podcasts, videos, how-tos, everything, just lifestyle. So,
Yeah, man, to give you guys a little background information on me and Angie, as you know, she is my co-host. I don't want to say every week, but probably, maybe
pretty
monthly.
often.
Pretty often.
Yes,
You're my
yes,
co-host pretty often, but we've been knowing each other since junior high.
yes.
And when I got into radio, we got back in touch with each other. This was long after high school.
hmm
And I made a promise. I said, Angie, when I get my own radio show, I'm going to get you to follow me. And you've literally followed me from
Yes.
my college radio days to my days working professionally in radio behind the scenes all the way until we made it here to WBOK. So I want to thank you for sticking by me all these years
Oh, no problem. It's been my pleasure.
through the rough parts. And, congratulations on everything that you've been doing as far as your podcast. So I want to jump into your journey with mental health and I want you to tell my listening audience how you got started and, what was the turning point for you uh, when you said, I needed to focus on my mental health.
Oh, so only about 6 months ago did I finally get a mental health therapist or a specialist to help me. But for years, I've always wanted to start therapy, but it's more so the paralysis of analysis. I prolonged it by, oh, I need to find a therapist. I need to find somebody who's gonna, that I'm a mesh well with. But that was my excuse to
Right.
not actually pull the trigger. I'm like, oh, I'm looking. I was actually looking, but no one stuck out to me.
Mm-hmm.
No one. It just it was an excuse. And so I finally pulled the trigger. I put it on my to-do list for the year, goal list, and I was coming up on the end of 2025, and I'm like, that's one thing I hadn't checked off my list yet.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, well, ain't nothing to it but to do it, because we can be our own worst critic and our own worst enemy sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
and we hinder ourselves by lacking discipline and saying we're going to do something but not actually doing it. And I've told myself over the last couple of years, I don't want to lie to myself. So if I tell myself I'm going to do something, I have to do it. So I finally pulled the trigger and I went through the EAP programs at work so that I could find a therapist, and I found one. And we've had about 8 or 9 sessions so far, and it's been really, really, really good. On the At face value, it may not look like, we need therapy or
Right.
there's something wrong. And not that anything has to be wrong, but you still need someone to help you sort out your thoughts, to
Of
make
course.
sense of things that you don't necessarily, you can't make sense of on your own.
Right.
And so when I first started speaking to a therapist, she was like, "So what's the goal? What's your angle?" And I was like, "I don't really have one. I just want to talk to somebody who's unbiased, who doesn't know me, and who can help me sort out my thoughts, basically."
Right.
And as we're talking, we're fine. And I'm telling her the things that I know is an issue or that's a potential problem, like
Mhm.
mommy issues, trust issues, and things like that. And
Yeah.
so we dig into that, and it's been pretty helpful. It's been really eye opening. And most of the things I'll tell her, and she'll just basically say, "You said it." Basically, I didn't have to tell you anything.
Yeah.
You said
Yeah.
it, but she'll say the most simplest things, and I'm like, I didn't even think about it like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's been helpful. It's been really, really different for me,
Mhm.
and it's been extremely helpful.
Yeah. You know my mental health journey because you've been following me for some time,
Hmm.
and that's the thing about therapy. It's like you know a lot of times there may not be anything specifically wrong with us,
Hmm.
but you know we're just looking for somebody to talk to. I know when I
Yes.
started, I was like, I'm not suffering from anything. I don't think, but
Hmm.
I'm just looking for that unbiased opinion, uh, somebody who doesn't know me, and I can just express myself the way I see fit.
Hmm.
Because a lot of times when it comes to talking to family, we can't.
Yeah.
You and I have said that many times
Yes.
before. When you co-host with me, a lot of things you can't come to family with because family's going to try to tell you how to feel about the certain things that you
Yes.
you deal with.
Hmm.
So therapy is good in the sense of it gives you an unbiased platform.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I try to do here on Conversations with Ryan Richardson is I try to open up my platform to everybody, and I just let them go for an hour
Yeah.
because a lot of times someone's opinion is not needed.
Hmm.
Sometimes we just need a listening ear.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of the problems. With families is everybody wants to try to instantly help and just try to do things to make it better, but we don't need that.
No.
Right.
No, I think most times, um if people just tell their story, and like you said, you give people the space and the opportunity basically to just talk.
Of course.
But we don't have to purposely be motivational or inspirational. You literally can just let somebody speak, and they can change your life in whatever they've said. I remember on one of your shows I was co-hosting, and I can't remember the lady's name, but she was saying that after you eat, you shouldn't be sleepy. You should get up and walk around. Like, food is fuel. It's not supposed to make you sleepy.
Yeah.
And she was literally just talking, but that changed the way I do things because I literally get sleepy every time I eat. She wasn't setting out to be inspirational, but that changed my life.
Right.
So essentially, that's what it is. Like, you've given people a platform to just come here and tell their story. And I'm telling you something changed my life, but you don't know how many of your listeners have been changed by somebody who you allowed to tell their story or just to be here and be. You're a therapist in a sense, because you give people the opportunity to tell their story and
Yeah.
they're inspiring somebody.
Yeah. And that was my biggest thing. Initially when I set out to when Conversations with Ryan Richardson was launched 3 years ago, it was just going to be a show about disability. Because I speak of this guy very often, and he sat in on many shows with me. Mr. Jack Harris. I was working at another radio station at the time. I was, you know, a radio rookie in Green coming in, and he was an OG and been around for a long time. And so him and I were sitting down having a conversation on the infamous night shift. You remember
Yes,
that?
yes.
And he said, when you start your own, I don't know what you plan on doing with this, but if you do start your own radio show, why don't you start, talking about what you deal with every day?
Hmm.
Okay, well, yeah, that's a good thing. And you kind of blow it off,
Yeah.
and you think, okay, they don't know what they're talking about. But I remember COVID hit, sitting at home, just kind of relaxing. A friend of mine called me, and she was like, "Hey, we got a job opening at this station. Why don't you come down and do it?" So I was producing like I always did, and my program director at the time told me, "Hey, look, we have a slot for a show. Do you
Hmm.
want it?" And I said, "Okay, well, So I started it, and then I don't remember who it was exactly called me, but they were like, "Ryan, great show, but why don't you open it up to mental health?" And I'm like, "What do I know about mental health?"
Hmm.
And I need somebody to talk to myself.
Right.
And so the disability piece led to talking about mental health, because what a lot of people don't realize is that disability and mental health go hand in
Oh, yes.
hand. And then it led into talking about addictions and all these things. And like you said, you really don't know who you're touching when you're on the platform and when you're in front of this microphone.
Hmm.
Because I'm always shocked when people text me or call me or leave me a message on Facebook or
Right.
Instagram, and I found you. I've been listening to you, and I'm like, whoa, it's still, after being in radio 16 years, it's still like, and being in radio 16 years and on the air for 3, it's like, wow,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. And you had Eric Lewis on the show before. He called in.
good friend of yours, right?
Yes. And me and Eric talk a lot. We do a lot of collaborations and we do a lot on finances. But Eric has been heavy into therapy for the absolute longest, and he does not even realize it. But a lot of the times when we talk, he's giving me the therapy that I need. Like he'll
Yeah,
say something just
yeah,
in general,
yeah.
but he's healing something inside of me, and he's helping something inside of me, and he doesn't even realize it half the time. But it's absolutely necessary. And I've had people. I was walking into Walgreens one day, and this girl was walking out, and she was like, "Oh, hey, how's the podcast going?" And I was like, "It's going well. Thank you for asking." It just shocked me because I'm an everyday person.
Right,
I'm
right,
not expecting to hear that from a random person
right,
on a random whatever day,
right,
and it just happened. I'm like, I have to remember that you are putting things out there for the masses, and somebody's going to consume it,
right.
and so you have to. It's just something you have to think about, that hey, I could be helping somebody, and they probably didn't respond to the podcast or email me and call me or say anything,
Mhm.
but in person you see that person and they're like, "Girl, you don't know, and this changed, and
Yeah,
and you just hope that you're doing something that can help somebody."
right.
Yeah.
Hit
But
us up, man. 504-582-9422. 504-582-9422. We had Miss Angie from the Sincerely Angie podcast. So I want to touch on you.
yes.
Tell us about your podcast.
So, well, the podcast started because, like I said, I do blog posts and I'm a blogger. And so I love writing. But back in 2015, 2016, people weren't reading blogs like that. It has to be a special person that likes that.
Yeah,
It's not for everybody. A lot of people don't like to read. They like we're a microwave society. So everybody likes their things right here, right now in their face. They don't want to have to take the time out to do a whole lot.
mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, people don't read anymore. And Eric has done many, many podcasts. And so he just helped me out, and he was like, look, all you got to do is this. And he showed me the different platforms to use or whatever. And I was like, instead of me just writing the blog post, I'm going to write the blog post and then I'll do an audio form of that blog post.
Yeah,
And so
yeah,
that's how I got started.
yeah. So how has that helped you, with your mental health journey?
Writing is therapeutic.
Yes.
And so even if it's just me writing out the topics for the episode and then actually doing the audio for the episode, it's the same thing as writing it down. It's therapeutic to get it
Yeah.
out. And I'm always led by God, because I'll think of a topic, and then before I can record or write the blog post or record the audio,
Yes.
there'll be things that'll happen, and it's like God is telling me, yeah, this is the episode, this is the topic that you need to talk about. So it's therapeutic, and it's confirming and affirming when I get the signs that say, yeah, this is what you should talk about. This is something that was placed on your heart. This is something you need to go out there and put out for the masses. So it's very therapeutic.
Yeah, I can remember, and you weren't there for this particular episode, but I didn't realize how therapeutic this was for me.
Mhm.
I've said this many times on the show. Back in 2017, my grandmother passed, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was working in radio, but I was lost at that point in time. So
Mhm.
about a year later, I think my first post that I put on Facebook was, people with cerebral palsy are uh, 5 to 10 times. We use 5 to 10 times more energy as a normal person,
Mhm.
and I was just like, let me see what happens
Right.
if I just put this out there indirectly.
Mhm.
And a couple days later, I'm sitting at home, got off on an infamous night shift. I couldn't sleep, so I just fired up a YouTube channel, and then from that point on, it was like, phew. And you know, classmates knew, like
Yeah.
you've always known, what I've dealt with, but it was like a lot of people didn't know,
Yeah.
and then it just turned into breaking the stigma about something that really plagued me.
Mhm.
I still have my days, but it's almost like I've become the figurehead of cerebral palsy and mental health.
Yeah.
Uh, Not expecting to do that, but here I am.
Yeah.
And it was just a couple years ago. I said to myself, I'm taking everything in from everybody else, but I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do.
Mhm.
So how can I be a mental health advocate and not get my own self checked out?
Yeah.
And let me tell you something about mental health, and you know this as well. This is a journey that never ends.
Yeah.
Mental health and healing never stops because there's
Mhm.
always going to be something that's going
Mhm.
to deter you or try to deter you
Yeah.
from doing what you're doing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's earlier when I spoke of the discipline, you have to push past that.
Mhm.
You have to push past those things that are saying, "Oh no, don't get up today. Don't do it today. Don't do." You have to push past that because there's nothing but the enemy trying to stop you from what you're destined to do or what you're supposed to be doing. And like I said, with the blog posts and the podcast episodes, when I get these confirmations from God that, hey, this is what you're supposed to, when I go back months later, years later, and reread these things, I'm like, I wrote that. Like, I'm always amazed because it's what I feel in the moment.
Yeah.
And then when I come back with fresh eyes or a fresh ear to listen to it, I'm like, wow, I said that. I can't believe it. And not in a way that, oh, I should have never said that. It's like,
Right.
oh, wow, if I was in a certain place, that would have helped me. And so you can't let those outside forces stop you because you never know what, you can bless somebody by some of the things that you say and do.
Mhm. Yeah, and that's like, with radio. I go back to a lot of my older shows, and I mean, I listen to myself weekly after,
That's good.
live, and it's like, damn, I said that,
Yeah.
you know? And and I'll probably say this during the course of the show, you never really know who you're touching out
Yeah.
there. A couple months ago, I had a pastor on my show, and he called me out of the blue one day. I'm at home. I'm actually at home playing a video game, not even thinking about radio. He calls me.
Mhm.
He's like, "Is this Ryan Richardson?" I say, "Yeah." So he starts telling me, Pastor Freddie Davis. Shouts out to Pastor Davis. He said, "Man, I got to connect from a friend of mine, and I want to come on your show." And I'm like, "You don't even think about, you know, how you are touching somebody,
Yes.
but people are listening."
Yes, absolutely. And that's another thing that happened to me when I first started the podcast. I've always wanted to do it solo because it's hard to depend on people to be able to show up. So I didn't want to,
Hello.
excuse me, I didn't want my podcast to be dependent on if somebody came on or not. So it's just conversation style. But when it's me by myself, I'm just saying whatever. is on my mind and on my heart. And yeah.
All right, so you know what that is. We got to
I
go to our
already
first
know.
break.
We'll be back.
All right. Conversations with Ron Richardson on WBOK 1230 AM, streaming worldwide on WBOK1230.com and also on YouTube. Angie, tell the people where they get in contact with you.
You can find me at sincerelyangiem.com.
All right, man. We'll be right back after this with my girl, Miss Angie from the Sincerely Angie podcast, right here on WBOK 1230 AM, streaming worldwide on WBOK1230.com. See you in a second. Peace.
On Auto Trends with JeffCars.com, here's a snippet of some of what we cover. GPS pioneer Gladys West.
We worked long hours computing trajectory orbits and satellite orbits, trying to get the data and everything correct enough.
Auto analyst Mark Bland.
14 new vehicle deals that happen in this country out of every 100 that women don't have a fingerprint on.
To tune in, check out Auto Trends with JeffCars.com, Saturdays at 4 p.m. on WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about.
Hi, everyone. This is Angie from the Sincerely Angie podcast, and I am excited to share something special with you. My friend Ron Richardson, the host of Conversations with Ron Richardson on WBOK 1230 AM and streaming worldwide on WBOK1230.com, is releasing an inspiring new book called Redefining Ability. This powerful book challenges the stigma surrounding mental health and reminds us that our struggles don't define our limits. They can redefine our strength. Redefining Ability is about hope, resilience, and changing the conversation about mental health in our families, our communities, and within ourselves. The official release date is May 15, 2026. You'll be able to download the ebook through Kindle Direct Publishing and be a part of the movement that's breaking stigma and celebrating the power of ability. Because ability isn't about perfection, it's about perseverance. Redefining Ability by Ron Richardson.
Hey family, Ron Richardson here, host of Conversations with Ron Richardson. If you're looking for quality catering and barbecue, you need to contact my friends at Kuzan's Catering and Barbecue Team. Mr. Eddie Bunch and Kuzan's have been serving the West Bank since 2013 with their quality selection of barbecue and seafood. If you're looking for quality catering, be sure to contact Kuzan's Catering, located at 618 Westwood Drive in Marrero, or you can go to kuzansonline.com for more information for all the services that they offer, or call 504-233-4227. Catering done the right way just for you. That's Kuzan's, baby.
Hi, everyone. This is Angie from the Sincerely Angie podcast, and I'm excited to share something special with you. My friend Ron Richardson, the host of Conversations with Ron Richardson on WBOK 1230 AM and streaming worldwide on WBOK1230.com, is releasing an inspiring new book called Redefining Ability. This powerful book challenges the stigma surrounding mental health and reminds us that our struggles don't define our limits. They can redefine our strength. Redefining Ability is about hope, resilience, and changing the conversation about mental health in our families, our communities, and within ourselves. The official release date is May 15, 2026. You'll be able to download the ebook through Kindle Direct Publishing and be a part of the movement that's breaking stigma and celebrating the power of ability. Because ability isn't about perfection, it's about perseverance. Redefining Ability by Ron Richardson.
New Orleans, you want to know what we're talking about? Tune in every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on WBOK for Conversations with Ron Richardson. The topics will always be hot and the conversation will be all the way live. Meet us there. We'll save you a seat. We can also talk about you and your business as a sponsor of Conversations with Ron Richardson. Contact Ron at 504-874-4584 or email him at richardsonronald024@gmail.com for more details.
In a world full of content, standing out is everything, and that is where Mr. Byron Headley comes into play. If you need professional photography, cinematic video, or scroll-stopping video, it is time to give Byron Shoots in Motion a call so he can bring your vision to life, frame by frame. For more information, you can call Byron Headley at 346-365-4379. That's 346-365-4379. Or follow him on Instagram at Byron_shoots_in_-motion. Byron_shoots_in_-motion. Byron Shoots in Motion.
Captured with purpose, delivered in motion. This is Ron Richardson with Redefining Ability. This week we're talking about Black men and mental health. Mental health is an essential part of overall well-being for many Black men, yet it remains an overlooked and often stigmatized topic. While conversations about mental health have grown more common in recent years, Black men continue to face unique social, cultural, and systemic barriers that make seeking help difficult. I am speaking directly to all my brothers, and I am telling you to take charge of your mental health and open up about the issue that you may be going through. There is no shame in showing weakness or being vulnerable. This is Ron Richardson with Redefining Ability. For more information about Redefining Ability, you can contact me at richardsonronald024@gmail.com. richardsonronald024@gmail.com. And remember, healing and recovery start with you.
Are you looking for the next burlesque sensation? Searching for some prime entertainment on a Sunday night? Well, come down to the Always Lounge as Scarlett Letta presents Show Me Your Noobs. You'll see the finest new entertainers performing burlesque, drag, and a variety of acts that will tease, titillate, and delight you. We're here every third Sunday of the month. Come catch the most raved about show in New Orleans that no one has ever heard of until now. Show Me Your Noobs. It's the perfect night out, whether you're a burlesque regular or sharing your first time with us. Show Me Your Noobs will leave you breathless.
For more information on Show Me Your Noobs, go to thealwayslounge.net.
WBOK online at WBOK1230.com. It's the place where we can be open and honest about real life issues. You're listening to Conversations with Ron Richardson, live on WBOK and online at WBOK1230.com.
Welcome back. This is Conversations with Ron Richardson on WBOK 1230 AM, streaming worldwide on WBOK1230.com, also streaming on YouTube. Hit us up, drop us a line, give us a call, 504-582-9422, 504-582-9422. And I am back with the lovely co-host, podcast extraordinaire. Speak it. You want me? I can go on and on. Good friend, close friend, man.
Yes.
Miss Angie from the Sincerely Angie podcast. How you hanging?
Everything's well. Thank you.
All right. She came through for me today. She's a little under the weather, and we have some bad weather going on in the city.
Yes.
So I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem at all.
Appreciate it. So I want you to pick up with your last thought. We were talking about mental health and just how things have, changed for you.
Yes. So the podcast is very therapeutic. Like I said, I'll record something or I'll write something on a blog, and then I'll go back and read it like, man, I can't believe that I wrote that. That's wild that came out of me, but that's what I was feeling in the moment or at that time. And I'm glad that I'm honest about my feelings, or I'm honest about writing something when it comes to me, because like I said, you never know who you're helping, but when you go back and you listen to it or you read it and you're like, I was going through that, or that's something that I got from what I was going through. And it's always amazing that in real time you can see what you were going through or hear what you were going through, and then saw how you came out of that. And
Right.
because you recorded it or you wrote about it, it's like, oh wow. And it's documented, and like again I said, your story is helping somebody. You never know. And it's always a blessing to see and hear.
Isn't that a great feeling?
Yes.
We've been talking about that, during the course of the show, but man, I say it again. 2024, I got the chance to interview Pastor Lester Love, who's close to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I met Pastor Love previously, and he told me when I first met him, he said, you're going to do great things. And who knew years later that I would have interviewed him and we became friends. And when after an interview that we did, he invited me to his church.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't know, I don't know. And, it was when I did the interview, it was my birthday weekend. And they were like, a couple of friends of mine were like, well, I think you should go. And he told me that you know, my sermon is going to be about you. He said, just come and
Really?
check it out. I'm like, Pastor, he said, man, and, Pastor Love is down to earth.
Yes.
And he was like, man, look, come, and come to find out, his wife, uh, Prophet Fran Love, went to school with my mom, grew up in Avondale, so,
Really?
she knows the family. And, man, when I tell you that was the most powerful thing that I've ever experienced in my life, and when that man spoke life into me, that was when I knew that this was my thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't until that moment, because I went through a phase where I was like, I'm doing the show, but ain't nobody listening.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nobody listening. And it was at that moment I said, you know what? And he said these words to me during the interview that we did. He said, everybody has the ability to minister.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter where you minister from. The microphone in the control room is my pulpit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
So from that point on, man, it seemed like everything has been touched by God.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll probably repost the footage today, but when I walked up there, you could literally see like me catching the Holy Spirit and me just like literally breaking down. And I will never forget that.
Wow.
And from that point on, man, me and Pastor Love, every time I see him, we like this.
Yeah.
He's like, the last time I saw him, he said, young brother, so when you get married?
Questions that need answers.
And I was like, Pastor Love. He said, well, you got to make that happen. And I'm like, look, man, it's going to come. It's going to come. It's going to come. But nonetheless, man, that was an experience that I never forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna definitely have to repost that.
Yeah, I am.
I'm gonna look at it with new eyes now that I know the backstory.
Oh man, and I wasn't gonna go.
Yeah.
I was not gonna go. I was like, I'm not going,
and it changed your life.
Oh, it did. It did.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I remember the title of the sermon. It was "Do Something New in Me," and God is doing something new in me. He's been doing something new in me since that day.
Yes,
yeah.
I'm sure of it. Yeah. That's wild.
Yeah, man. So
that's crazy.
I'm grateful to have people like you on the platform.
I'm grateful to be here.
To give, a different aspect.
Yeah.
And to speak on things from a female perspective.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm like you said, I'm usually co-hosting, and I try and give whoever is the guest for the day, I give them as much space as I can to say whatever they'll say. And you're like, you could jump in at any time, and I'm like, the Spirit gonna move me.
Yeah.
It's gonna let me know when I'm supposed to say something. But I feel like in those moments, give them the room to speak and say what they have to say. And on my podcast, I never have questions written down,
right?
Because I wait for something to come up in me and say, okay, ask them this and ask them that. And it also gives it, for me, it gives it that feel of a conversation, because when you're actually having conversations, you don't have pre-made questions.
Right.
And so when I'm talking to them, they'll tell me, whoever comes on the show, because people, when I first started, people would just message me and be like, can I come on? Can I come on? And I'm like, why do you want to come on? Why do you want to come on my show?
Right.
But for some people, it's promotion. They want to promote themselves. And for others, they actually like the vibe of the show, and they're like, I wanna be a part of it. And so we'll sit down and we'll talk, and they'll say, you have any questions for me? And I'm gonna say, just say what you gotta say. We're gonna talk. It's gonna be conversations, and then I'll ask you whatever. And each time they're like, I can't believe you asked me that.
Yeah.
It was a conversation. That's something I would have naturally asked you in conversation. And so it's always a blessing to be able to talk to people and hear their story. But to know that you've provided a platform for somebody,
right.
It meshes well with who you are. Like almost every guest I've seen, if I have not been in the chair on air, I've listened to it, and I'm like, I can picture this being somebody that he would talk to. I can picture this being somebody who he would be in communication with. Like, everybody meshed really well with you.
And I don't, I tell people all the time, I don't take myself too seriously. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I take what I do very seriously, but I don't take myself seriously in the sense of I look at this as barbershop and beauty shop talk. I say
Yep.
it every week on the show. This
Mhm.
is a situation where, a bunch of guys get together and we in the barbershop talking about our issues.
Right.
Or when I have women on the show, because I've been touching a lot on women's mental health.
Mhm.
I tell my sisters, look at this as you being in the beauty shop, and I'm the only guy in there, and I'm just sitting back and letting y'all go and letting y'all talk about whatever it is that
Mhm.
you need to get off your chest. And I think that's what's missing from radio is that you know your normal everyday people like yourself and myself,
Yes.
we don't have the platform. So I open conversations with Ryan Richardson up to everybody.
You do. And it's literally a conversation every time I listen and tune in. And when I'm in here,
Mhm.
it's general conversation. Like if there wasn't a mic, I feel like these would still be things that would be said outside of having a mic in front of your face.
Yeah.
It has that conversational feel.
Right.
And
And
I love that.
I mean, you and I take it back to junior high and high school days. We always interacted with each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I can remember times when it seemed like you were the only friend I had.
Yeah.
We always did interact. So
Yeah.
I guess it was just set in stone and God to bring us together in our late years to say
Yes.
this is something that we need to
Mhm.
be doing together.
Yep, it was like foreshadowing. We were always
Yeah.
talking, and here we are talking again.
Mhm.
Still talking years later. I love it though.
Right.
Yeah.
Hit us up, man. 504-582-9422. 504-582-9422. Tell the people where they can get in contact with you, Angie.
Y'all can find me pretty much everything you need is at sincerelyangiem.com.
Mhm.
Links to my not Facebook, to my Instagram, YouTube, all of those things. Everything is over there, so it's a one-stop shop.
So, what does a perfect chill day look like for Angie when you need to get away from everything? Because I keep eye on your social media, your Facebook and your Instagram.
Yeah.
This girl is all over, and I know a couple times I hit you up, and I think it was around because our birthdays we were
Yes.
born a week apart. And I'm like,
Yes.
Angie, can you? She's like, Ryan, I'm out of town, baby. I can't come. And I'm like, this girl is all over.
Yes.
So, what is that like for you?
Oddly enough, well, maybe not oddly, but my whole life, because I'm single, I don't have kids, I just
Right.
have my baby boy Rocky. But my whole life is a getaway. Like, so it's just me.
Yeah.
So I'm always
sure.
in solitude, always in chill mode. It's literally just me.
Yeah.
So I nap when I want to, or I'll spend a day on a couch bumming it out.
Yeah.
Some days I go shopping even though I'm not supposed to be. I'm trying to
Uh-huh.
budget it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's literally any and everything I do is a chill day for me. It's because I'm always with myself.
Right.
And so I could literally just nap all day and be fine, or I can go shopping, thrifting, or whatever all day and be fine. So I make the most of everything.
You have to. You
Yeah.
have to. And it's like that with me too. I spend a lot of time by myself. Me and my dog Queen.
Uh-huh.
It's just me. So it's like I can get up when I want to. I
Yes.
can, just go about my day. I don't even care if it's, going outside and walking her.
Yeah.
It's just,
And the one thing you have to, and this is what I tell myself, you have to be okay with the decisions you make. So if I make it a couch day, I have to be okay that I sat on the couch all
Yeah,
day. I
sure.
can't be like, oh, girl, you should have. Nope. That's the decision I made. I'm okay with it. I feel good about it. And if there was something I was supposed to do, then I add it to my to-do list and I do it the next day. But I have to be okay with everything that I decide to do. And if I'm not okay with it, then don't make it a thing. Like if I'm not okay with chilling on the couch, don't even make the couch day an option because I'm not okay with it. But you have to be okay. And I guess that's a part of mental health. That's a way to keep yourself in check and to also keep your mental health up to par. Is if you are okay with something, do it. But if you feel bad after you do it, don't do that thing anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
So being that you're a host of your own podcast,
Mhm.
and you co-host with me, I want to ask you. I've listened to your podcast and I've also been on your podcast.
Yes.
And you touch on a lot of topics, that help people through everyday life, but you also touched on a lot of heavy ones.
Mhm.
How do you separate yourself from that? And how do you protect your peace when dealing with some of these topics that you know talked about and have had people on that have made you go, whoa, you know, I need to take a step back and do something for me. I need to step away from this for a minute.
I think it goes back to what I just said. I have to be okay with it.
Right.
You know, I have to be. There was one episode. It's probably my worst episode. I haven't listened to it in years, but um, it was me and my best friend, and there were drinks involved. Liquor was involved, so
It was, you know what? Never mind. But go ahead.
but it went from 0 to 100, and it was just a wild show.
Mhm.
And I was like, it was meant, that conversation was meant to happen, and
Yeah.
I had to be okay with it, like, because it happened. I mean, one thing I pride myself in is no regrets. I don't live my life with regrets at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, you have to be okay with it. So if I did it, it was either going to be a lesson or it was going to be a time.
Yeah.
And so those episodes that either get heavy or that are whatever we want to call them, I have to be okay with it. And I try my hardest to think before I speak. So when I say something, I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. So therefore, I don't have the regret or the heaviness of, oh man, I shouldn't have said that. Because if I said it, I probably meant it. And if I said it, it was probably meant to be said. So I try my hardest to separate and not to weigh myself down. And I think you're like this as well. Very chill, laid back.
Yeah.
You don't stress about too much. You don't put too much, like you said, you don't take yourself too seriously at times. Like, I don't think we're supposed to weigh ourselves down, and especially with something that's either a hobby or something that we enjoy doing, like podcasts and the radio. I don't think that we're supposed to make it so much that it weighs on us. Like, it shouldn't be that heavy. It should be very fun. It should be very light and very easy to do. And so I separate myself because I don't take it too personally, and I don't let it consume me. So
one of the hardest shows for me to do was actually the one with Pastor Love,
really,
Bishop Lester Love, because during the course of the interview, he flipped it on me, and he started asking me questions.
I can believe it.
And I was like, you know, he was like, well, you know, he started. We dove into the loss of my grandmother and different things like that, and I literally looked at him during the break. We went to a break, and I said, man, I'm the host, and you making me feel like I got something. And he actually mentioned that in his sermon today, that Sunday, you know, when I went to visit his church.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how that affected me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it made me dig deeper into my own thoughts and my own issues that I had.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, it's,
excuse me,
like I said, you know, conversations with Ron Richardson has been very therapeutic for me as well, because, man, you know, it's caused me to look at myself.
Yeah.
Look at myself, even when I didn't want to.
And that's the best thing, when you're forced to see things that, you know, you either would not have chosen to see or that you weren't expecting to see. But I think that's the great thing about Conversations with Ron Richardson, is the platform that you give people to tell their story. And mental health seemingly always shows up. No matter who the guest is or whatever, mental health always shows up. Right. So it's telling you something.
Right. The last episode that you were on with me was the one with Dr. Mojica, the tantric doctor.
Yes.
Even with that, it was a mental issue. Was a mental aspect to it.
Yes. Yeah. And that was a powerful episode, because me and Tanya, we were in here like, girl, like, it was wild. The energy was wild, even though she was over the phone.
Right.
Like, just what we were talking about, it was so heavy, but so uplifting. It was heavy because we were not expecting it. Like, we literally just said, when you're not expecting it, and it just caused us to think. And I would have never thought, coming in when you said, you know, this is the episode for today or whatever, this is what we're talking about, I would have never thought that it would have gotten that deep and that heavy. And it wasn't in the sense of like, oh, let's shy away from this topic. No, it was literally her just saying things and bringing awareness. And then Tanya's telling her story, and whatever she's going through is you can see that it's affecting her. Crazy.
Right, man. So we got to go to our second break, all right?
Yes.
Conversations with Ryan Richardson on WBOK 1230 AM, streaming worldwide on WBOK1230.com. Got my girl in here, man. Miss Angie from the Sincerely Angie podcast, hanging out with me. Diving into her podcast, into her journey with mental health. We got a lot more coming up, man. Got to take this break. We'll be right back. Hit us up, 504-582-9422. 504-582-9422. She is in the air chair telling her story.
Yes.
Talking about her journey. So we'll be right back after this. Stay tuned.
Hey, this is D. Riley from the 90s Hits R&B Jams. Make sure you listen to WBOK 1230 AM every Saturday night from 7 until 9 p.m. I'll be giving you the best R&B jams from the 90s. That's right, all your favorites and more. With me, D. Riley, your host of the 90s Hits, right here on WBOK 1230 AM, or listen online at WBOK1230.com. WBOK, the station you listen to longer.
Ron Richardson here. If you are like me, that means you love the feeling of getting a fresh haircut and shave. If you do, then you should check out my friends Eddie and Dana Bunch at First Impressions Barber and Beauty Salon, specializing in hairstyles for men, women, and children. If you want to make a good first impression, you should check out First Impressions Barber and Beauty Salon, located at 618 Westwood Drive in Marrero, or call 504-341-6777. Remember, it's never too late to make that first impression at First Impressions Barber and Beauty Salon.
New Orleans, you want to know what we're talking about? Tune in every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on WBOK for Conversations with Ron Richardson. The topics will always be hot and the conversation will be all the way live. Meet us there. We'll save you a seat. We can also talk about you and your business as a sponsor of Conversations with Ron Richardson. Contact Ron at 504-874-4584 or email him at richardsonronald024@gmail.com for more details.
Hi, everyone. This is Angie from the Sincerely Angie podcast, and I'm excited to share something special with you. My friend Ron Richardson, the host of Conversations with Ron Richardson on WBOK 1230 AM and streaming worldwide on WBOK1230.com, is releasing an inspiring new book called Redefining Ability. This powerful book challenges the stigma surrounding mental health and reminds us that our struggles don't define our limits. They can redefine our strength. Redefining Ability is about hope, resilience, and changing the conversation about mental health in our families, our communities, and within ourselves. The official release date is May 15, 2026. You'll be able to download the ebook through Kindle Direct Publishing and be a part of the movement that's breaking stigma and celebrating the power of ability. Because ability isn't about perfection, it's about perseverance. Redefining Ability by Ron Richardson.
Are you looking for the next burlesque sensation? Searching for some prime entertainment on a Sunday night? Well, come down to the Always Lounge as Scarlett Letta presents Show Me Your Noobs. You'll see the finest new entertainers performing burlesque, drag, and a variety of acts that will tease, titillate, and delight you. We're here every third Sunday of the month. Come catch the most raved about show in New Orleans that no one has ever heard of until now. Show Me Your Noobs. It's the perfect night out, whether you're a burlesque regular or sharing your first time with us. Show Me Your Noobs will leave you breathless. For more information on Show Me Your Noobs, go to thealwayslounge.net.
This is Ron Richardson with Redefining Ability. This week, we're talking about Black men and mental health. Mental health is an essential part of overall well-being for many Black men, yet it remains an overlooked and often stigmatized topic. While conversations about mental health have grown more common in recent years, Black men continue to face unique social, cultural, and systemic barriers that make seeking help difficult. I am speaking directly to all my brothers, and I am telling you to take charge of your mental health and open up about the issue that you may be going through. There is no shame in showing weakness or being vulnerable. This is Ron Richardson with Redefining Ability. For more information about Redefining Ability, you can contact me at richardsonronald024@gmail.com. richardsonronald024@gmail.com. And remember, healing and recovery start with you. In a world full of content, standing out is everything. And that is where Mr. Byron Headley comes into play. If you need professional photography, cinematic video, or scroll stopping video, it is time to give Byron Shoots in Motion a call so he can bring your vision to life, frame by frame. For more information, you can call Byron Headley at 346-365-4379. That's 346-365-4379. Or follow him on Instagram at Byron_shoots_in_motion. Byron_shoots_in_motion. Byron Shoots in Motion. Capture with purpose, delivered in motion.
If someone asks,
Yeah!
let them know you listen to WBOK.
Thanks for listening to Conversations with Ron Richardson, live on WBOK, and listen online at WBOK1230.com. Now, back to Ron.
Welcome back. This is Conversations with Ron Richardson on WBOK 1230 AM, streaming worldwide on WBOK1230.com and also on YouTube. Remember, guys, you can find me on social network and just search for the Ron Rich or Ron Richardson Facebook page. You can also find me on Instagram. Just search for Ronald_Richardson_Jr. on Instagram. And also Ronnie_Richardson_Jr. on Instagram. And it's the same name on TikTok, LinkedIn, and I'm newly been placed on Substack. And we have my co-host and very special featured guest, Miss Angie from Sincerely Angie Podcast. How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm so used to you co-hosting.
Yes, this is different.
Yeah, it's different, right? This is different. It's more intimate, more,
It
a little more
is.
interpersonal, but we getting through it.
Yeah, and I like it. It's definitely different. I always like to challenge myself, so this is different. And I'm literally pushing through today because
Right, because you got a little issue going.
Yeah.
We got it. And one of the reasons why I brought you in was because I was like, man, me and Angie have never really sat down and had the one-on-one conversation. I've always called you and be like, hey, look, I got a topic.
Yes.
I want your input. But, I thank you for giving me the opportunity to be one-on-one with you and to dive into, what you got going on.
Yeah. I appreciate it. It's different, but I like it because you're right. We never really had a chance to just you and I sit and talk about Conversations with Ron Rich and then Sincerely Angie podcast. So it feels good though.
Yeah.
And they're one and the same. They're similar. It's great conversations on both.
But you know what? I'm thinking we might have to collab somewhere in the near future and do something together.
Absolutely.
I mean,
I'm down.
We're working
always. I'm a roller.
Yeah, right.
If you riding, I'm rolling.
Right. So you touched on a lot of topics, man, with Sincerely Angie.
Mm-hmm.
What has been one of the most toughest topics that you've touched on that have, after the episode, that have made you go, whoa, I have to check in with myself after this one?
Well, like we said a few minutes ago, it was probably the episode with me and my best friend and we were drinking, and that episode was titled Dear Sex. And it...
Wait a minute, what?
it went from A to Z or 0 to 100 real quick, but that one was a tough one because things got a little heated in the conversation, and I was just, after that, I was like, yeah, definitely not involving alcohol in the podcast recordings anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a tough one. That was a tough one.
I was last week. Yeah. Last week not last week, week before last, I was on my videographer's podcast called Them Boys.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the Uncensored podcast.
Uh-oh.
And I'm so used to being professional and, carrying myself in a certain manner. He was like, nah, man, we gonna go for it.
Yeah.
And I even had to look back at myself and I was like, oh, did I really say that? And my cousin who co-hosted with me from time to time, Bianca, and a couple of other young ladies were on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking about my journey with just being in relationships and having a disability and navigating through the dating world.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of shocking for me because I'm always cautious about what I say
and
how I say it, because I have a lot of people follow me. But that also shows many sides of me that people don't otherwise get to see.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's next for you?
Well, next is for me to really find comfort in promoting myself, because I don't do a very good job at promoting myself. Right. I like I said, I co-hosted, maybe it was probably the second to last time I co-hosted. And I was telling the lady, I can't remember her name right now, but I was just like, I have a problem with promoting myself. I think it was with Tanya when she was here. Mm-hmm. And she was like, what do you want to do? And what do you, and I'm like, I just like talking. I just like writing. I just do that. And if anybody catches on, I want whoever organically is going to come. So what is for me next is to continue record more often than what I'm doing, and just continue to write. I write a blog post every single month. At least once a month, there's a blog post, and they usually coincide with a podcast episode. But I want to promote myself more, because I do feel like what it is that I'm offering, someone can be blessed by, and I just need to do a better job at promoting.
All right, so you know what? That's our time. You know how that goes. Yeah. All right. So any positive words of encouragement, man, before we get out of here?
Yes, I would tell any and everybody to just be honest with yourself. Don't tell yourself stories and lies, and just keep it real with yourself.
All right, man. All the best to you, okay?
Thank you. Same to you.
All right. Shouts out to you, and all the best with you and your podcast. Miss Angie from the Sincerely Angie podcast here on Conversations with Ron Richardson on WBOK 1230 AM, streaming worldwide on WBOK1230.com. I guess I'll see you in a couple of weeks, huh?
Absolutely. And y'all can find me at sincerelyangiem.com.
All right, man. New Orleans, it's been real. And remember, healing and recovery start with you. I will see you guys next Saturday. Same bad channel. Same place, same time. Conversations with Ron Richardson. Yeah. WBOK 1230 AM, streaming worldwide on WBOK1230.com and on YouTube. I love you, New Orleans. Peace.
WBOK on